my powerful people, and welcome back to my channel, Purple RX. It is Renata, your friendly and resourceful PharmD, here to help you navigate this health and wellness world with all this vast information to figure out what exactly works for you, because you are not for everything and everything is not for you. So we are getting back into our Mineral Monday series, and today's mineral is sulfur. We are going to step into sulfur and the importance of it being in your body, because we overlook all these small things that are super important to our diet, to our body's function, to what it needs to survive and be alive and thrive. So sulfur. Sulfur is the third most abundant mineral after calcium and phosphorus in your body, and it is the sixth most abundant macro mineral in breast milk. So that tells you it's important. That tells you it's circulating throughout the body and the body needs it. It is there to build and fix DNA cells from damage that can lead to serious disease such as cancer. So when amino acids are doing their thing, or they're building up proteins and building up different cells and different things going on, you have sulfur, and sulfur is needed in that building and breaking down and fixing all that DNA. It also assists the body to metabolize food and contribute to the health of your skin, tendons, ligaments, promote loosening and shedding of those skins. So it helps with the muscle, bone, skin, and hair tone. So that elasticity in your skin, sulfur is necessary to keep that elasticity going. That's why over time, you'll see sometimes people's elasticity is going, so maybe there's a breakdown in sulfur, or they're not getting enough sulfur within their body. Sulfate is also needed. Sulfate, which is a version of sulfur, is also needed to detoxify certain pharmacological agents. So things like Tylenol and other like pharmaceutical and toxic compounds, sulfur is needed in there in the liver to help do that and help do that job. So without sulfur, a lot of those toxic things in your body would not be able to be removed. Now, the way sulfur is present in food is usually present in the methanione and the cysteine versions. So those are amino acids used to make proteins. So that you can find those in skin, hair, and nails to make them strong and flexible. That's why maybe in new hair care videos in the Black community in natural hair, a lot of people who have itching scalp or who have problems or are a part of growth, sulfur has been a part of that in strengthening your hair. So you'll see people trying garlic, onions, doing things like that. Sulfur-8 was a big part back in the day, and putting it on scalp to decrease the itchiness of some people's scalp. Let's not overlook these things. Methionine is essential, but it is not essential. It is not made by the body. So you have to get it from protein-based forms, and it can be plant proteins or animal-based proteins. It synthesizes all the other important forms of sulfur compounds so that are needed in other places. Now, the other one, cysteine, that I talked about is really non-essential, and it's automatically and already made by the body, but you can also get it in foods, in some plant and animal-based proteins, as we will see later on. So proteins can contain between 3 to 6% of sulfur in the amino acid form. You'll also find sulfur as present in thiamine or B1 or in biotin. A lot of people, again, this goes back to hair, taking biotin to help strengthen their hair, help the growth of it, and to help with the production in hair and nails. That's what most time people are taking biotin for. Excuse me. Glutathione is also important to sulfur. So it is a key metabolite and storage form for sulfur, and glutathione is very protective against oxidative and free radical damage. So it plays a great protective role in that, and it has a potential to enhance your immune function. So sulfur is important to your immune system. We can't be sleeping on sulfur or acting like it's not important, but we also have to know, does our body need it? If it's important to our body, are we deficient in it? Are we talking to our healthcare providers, getting body scans? Are we talking to those people to know what our body is deficient in, and what is the importance of these minerals that are needed for the functions of our bodies? And these are basic on basic cellular levels. In each cell and building of cells and building of DNA, you're going to need sulfur. So what does sulfur deficiency look like? Sulfur deficiency can exacerbate a variety of things. So acne, because of course, skin, arthritis, brittle nails, hair. It can also cause convulsions, depression, memory loss, GI issues, rashes, and it can also be attributed to slow wound healing. It can also contribute to obesity, heart disease, Alzheimer's, and chronic fatigue. Sulfur is so much more than just this mineral that we smell that smells funky, or to our hair or to our nails and our skin. It goes so much deeper than that. Where are we going to find food sources of sulfur? Where can we get the sulfur that we need for ourselves? And again, sulfur is a part of all these minerals you can find in your daily diet if you are eating the right sources and healthier sources. So methionine, which is the essential form, is usually found in plant or animal-based protein sources. In animal-based protein sources, you will find it in beef, turkey, eggs, fish, chicken. In the plant-based form, you'll find it in nuts, seeds, grains, and legumes. Now, in foods such as chickpeas, couscous, eggs, lentils, oats, turkey, and walnuts, they not only have the methionine version, but they also have the cysteine version. So you get both sources from it. And again, your body actually makes the cysteine version. Another good vegetable, something some people probably sleep on because the smell, the taste, allium veggies. So allium veggies are things like garlic, leeks, onions, scallions, shallots. Those are rich in various forms of sulfur. So sulfides, thiosulfates, and sulfoxides, and even more sulfates. And those are associated with the benefits for cardiovascular health, bone health, blood sugar control, and they're also important within detox to help detox the body. Because sometimes you will see it in some detox pills. You'll see leeks or onions, mainly scallions or shallots or garlic if it's the right source of garlic. Because sometimes you can get garlic that's, yes, grown in the ground, but you can also get forms, if you're not you can also get forms that are that are not the best. Maybe the crop hasn't been treated right. Maybe it's falsely produced. So certain places in California grow some great garlic. Purple garlic is actually something really good to check out. I really do love purple garlic. Purple garlic has not only a great flavor, but it does have great benefits. And also, other vegetables include cruciferous vegetables, broccoli, cauliflower, your cabbage, arugula, kale, radishes. Not only are those great sources of sulfur, but that sulfur helps to detoxify your liver, and it helps to push those things from those cruciferous vegetables, push those things out. So those were things that were helpful for me in the situation when I had fibroids, to pushing out that extra estrogen. So if you're an over producer of estrogen, or you're holding on to estrogen more, this allows your body, things like cruciferous vegetables, allows your body to cleanse those out and process those out. Other things like whole grains, those are good sources, but they come in the thiamine form. So you're going to see things like that they're in the thiamine form. And leafy green vegetables, they provide sulfur in a biotin form. So again, remember, biotin's great for hair, skin, nails. So those are involved in the formation of fatty acids, and those things are needed for our skin and our hair and our nails. So sulfur can also be found in other forms in supplements like glucosamine sulfate, chondroitin sulfate, or methylsulfonyl methane, or MSM. A lot of times you'll see from natural hair channels, Ayurvedic MSM. MSM has helped with growth cycles of hair. MSM is also helping people with joints, glucosamine and chondroitin. You'll see a lot of those on shelves, and maybe a lot of older individuals are usually taking those, or people with poor joints and arthritis and problems in those situations, because it helps to lubricate those joints and give the joints the sulfur it needs to do what it needs to do. So when you're doing supplementation, sometimes people, again, are deficient in it. So your best supplementation in which the body needs to get the nutritional effects, it's going to be in methionine. And usually that's going to be you want to dose that 14 milligrams per kilogram of weight, of the patient's weight. So that's probably about 1,000 milligrams per day for most people. Now, what if you have all that and you come into it and maybe you have sulfur intolerance, where you're not very tolerant to sulfur? Your body may get some asthma or bloating, or you could come into it be taking an excess because you think you're short of sulfur because maybe your hair isn't growing the way you think it, or it's itchy, or there's something else going on. Again, it is so important to talk to your healthcare provider and know those people. Know your body, but also know somebody who is great at it, and y'all collaborate. The whole point of this is to collaborate. It's not for me to tell you exactly everything you need to do or exactly everything that you're supposed to do. It's a part of collaboration. So you can be a part, because this is your body at the end of the day, and you need to be a part of your own healthcare and a part of eating right and doing what is needed for the health of your body. So with sulfur intolerance, how can that manifest? It can manifest through asthma or shortness of breath, hives, itchy skin, headaches, nausea, diarrhea, flushing, high or low blood pressure, brain fog, chronic stress, and fatigue. So it could look like anything. So your best way to figure out, do I have a sulfur intolerance? A lot of times there's even more sensitivity tests out, and it will show you if you are intolerant to sulfur. And a lot of times with these sensitivity tests, you're going to get things, you're going to take them basically through either blood, but mainly saliva. So saliva tests. A lot of these, there's going to be advertisements. There's advertisements on my Instagram all day of sensitivity tests, metabolism tests, and that'll tell you what foods you may be intolerant to, what foods you may not need, or your body needs more of. So those are great ways to look at it. Also, with an excess, we want to be careful just going and being like, I think I need sulfur. Again, this is about looking at your nutritionist, looking at your healthcare provider, looking at somebody who can tell you what is going on with you to help you with if you get an excess, because it can cause brain damage to get too much, blindness, incoordination, death, or seizures. So All these things are great for our body, but of course, being out of balance can be the worst thing. Not having enough sulfur can cause issues, as well as having too much can cause issues. There needs to be a nice balance within our body and a nice balance in what we're intaking and how we're doing, and not just focusing on one thing that we may be deficient in. So again, please check with your healthcare provider, whether that's a pharmacist who does blood work and tests, whether that's a nutritionist, whether that's a naturopath, alternative medicine doctor. They do scans too. Don't overlook them. Chiropractors do scans. Don't overlook them. And let's not, again, like I said in the video before, let's not act like they don't do stuff, or they don't do enough, or they don't know what they're doing. Check with your healthcare provider. Check what's going on with you and see what's the best way for you. And most of the time, the best way are food sources. And if it's not, supplementation will work, but supplementation works, and it should be working as you start changing your diet and as it helps you to change your diet, so that eventually you can take away that supplementation. And at some points, you may not be able to take away that supplementation. So please be cautious, be thoughtful. Don't just jump up and be like, I got to do this because I think I have a sulfur deficiency. Don't just take information and run with it. Do a little bit more investigation. Find out a little bit more understanding, and find out more understanding about yourself. Because remember, not everything is for you, and you aren't for everything. So thank you guys for checking me out on a Mineral Monday again. Please come back and see me. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe, comment. Let me know what you want to hear. Let me know if you like it, so we can go further and check out and talk more about different things. So join me again on Weed Wednesdays so we can talk about the endocannabinoid system. Thank you guys. You guys have a nice day.